All right, guys, we're about to do a model of a first generation Bronco. So stay tuned for the video of this first generation Bronco, as well as two others that we have video of. This one is a 1971 flavor with a 302, which is exactly what we're building. So welcome to another episode of Junkyards and Barn Finds with Sean, and I'm Sean. I don't think we've done a Ford yet, because this is only, I think, our 5th or 6th show. But we're going to do the Ford Bronco. I owned one of these back in 1980, 84, 85. When I was in the military, I was stationed at Naval Air Station, Memphis, Tennessee, and it blew the engine, and I literally left it in Tennessee. Mine had a whole body kit on it. It was really cool. All right, so let's go watch those videos and get excited about the build. We could see some of the details of the vehicle we're going to build, so check out the details, look at the colors, see what you want to do, and then we'll be back. And then we're going to go ahead and build this first generation Bronco. All right, guys, so this is a 1971 Bronco. Other than the tint on the windows and the wheels, this is a stock vehicle. So we're gonna take a look at this one. So we'll go around here. So this has a V8 302, 205 horsepower. Which in 71 the 302 came in Mustangs and everything else as well. So now there's a couple different types of these first generation Broncos. Some have, this has the single coilover and the single strut. Some have a double strut in the front, and they'll have double struts in the back as well. I don't know what this has. Let's take a quick look. So this has a single strut here. Some of them will have a double strut, a strut that comes from the back, from there, and from here. This has the single strut. And of course it has the locking hubs right here that come out through the rims. All right, guys, so I got the keys to it. So I'm gonna open up, we're gonna look at the inside of it, and we'll look underneath. 50. Okay. So we're going to go over here. So you can see the tops on these things, they open up, they come off. And that was really the reason that these were popular, is because you could take the roofs off and just drive them without a roof. So we do have the key, so it's unlocked. So you can tell, says Bronco here. The really cool thing with the floorboards on this one are just that they're up on a riser. Most of them aren't carpeted. This has a Bronco steering wheel on it. This is pretty much the only gauge that came with most of these right here. So this has the roll cage. Almost all of them came with a roll cage that would start back here. This one's been extended, but a lot of them would come with the roll cage in the back. That was pretty stock. The center console's not stock. But if you look at the back seat, so that small back seat has the armrest that came with it. This has vinyl in the back. Some had vinyl, some did not. They said the roof can be removed, and it has the dual handles. There's your vent right there. Your stick shift is right here. Pedals down here. This has air conditioning. It looks like it has air conditioning. But actually they may just be the heater vents, to be honest with you. These two bolts right here, that one and that one, they allow the windshield to come down. So you could take the windshields off of it. Well, you let them on a hinge, they would fold down like the Jeeps did, at least mine did, and that's what those are for. So this is an automatic. It's very original. Seats are real small. You can see sometimes the seats in the back, they'll have the back of the seat could be a hard, mine was a hard plastic. These are the vinyl seats. These are vinyl on the back and the front. This is a hinge holder right here, so so that the doors, when you open them up, you could just pull them with this. I had that in my car. Of course, here's the door panels. They have the release mechanism is right there. You've got a nice little wood grain here. This little insert, which is the same fabric as here, and a door sill. So it is just a really nice, and you can see there's not a lot of room in these. They weren't real made. You could either put people or stuff in the back. And over there you can see there's your glove compartment. You have a dash pad on here that's black, and you have the little square area that the steering column goes in is black. And of course, like I said, this is an aftermarket steering wheel as well, but whoever did this has Bronco put in there. So it's a really, really beautiful truck on the inside. Let's close it. All right, so let's crawl under. Oh. And like I said, you can see it's a single shock front. There's your transfer case. It's a 302 with, it's got, this has a aftermarket exhaust on it. However, it's run the same way it normally would. There's not a Y pipe with this one because you have your transfer case here, front drive shaft, rear drive shaft, and you can see the body mounts on this. So the body's only mounted with 4 or 5 bolts on here. There's one there, one here, and I think there's 2 in the back, so actually 6 bolts. And the leaf springs, there's not a lot. Like I said, there's normally in some of these they'll have 2 rear shocks on it per side. This has a single rear shock per side. This has drum brakes in the back. It has the disc brake on the front, even though you would have drum brakes, but this has actually had a kit or something done. So yeah, there's a little bit that has been done to this truck, obviously. A little bit of a lift on it, but as you can see, it's still, everything under here is just really clean. You can see all the parts, you can see everything about this truck, how the brake lines are run. It's a full frame truck. You can actually take the body off of this, replace it with another body fairly easily, and it only has the single shock up the front, shock tower. You can put dual shocks on these. Some came from the factory with dual shocks bodies. So anyway, but it is just a really, really gorgeous truck. Like I said, unfortunately, we're not going to open up the engine compartment. It is what it is. Sometimes we can do it, sometimes we can't, and today we just can't. But if you like this kind of thing, please subscribe. Please hit the bell. And this isn't the one that you can buy in the showroom. So this is, I think it's a 74. I had a 74. This has a 347 cubic inch high performance engine in it from Ford Racing. And it's got, I think that's the electric brake system that they look like they put in an electric one. And they've got a whole new interior into this. So new gauges. It's a really, really beautiful. That's a beautiful, beautiful truck right there. I know what's going to happen is everybody's going to see this and they're going to say, why didn't I go over and talk to the guy in the classic Bronco? Because they're all going to ask me about it, because it's Junkyards and Barn Finds.
Yes, sir.
And I actually had one of these. I left it in the Memphis River outside of Millington, Tennessee, when I blew the motor.
Left it there.
It was this deep in mud.
Oh.
And the only way to get out was a half track. It was going to cost me $1,500 for a truck. I paid $500 for it, so I put the title in it and swam to my friend's truck. And for all I know, it's still there. But so my name's Sean. If you don't mind, can I ask you some stuff here real quick? So 74, 73? 73.
Yes, sir.
Body kit on it, or is it all original?
All original.
So it's metal?
Yep.
So, and what's on it? What do you have under hood? Anything particular? Is it pretty?
302 with an intake and a header.
Okay.
And it's got a little bit different cam in it, but everything else is fine.
How long have you had it for?
I've had it since 06.
So you've had it before they decided to come out with the new one that looks like the old one that just made these worth a whole ton of money.
Yeah, my dad had one of them that was almost identical to this, and then we bought this one in 05, and it took 10 years to restore it, which it really took about a year and a half, with about 5 years of it just sitting in the garage, but couldn't find a good body shop.
Is it the original color, or is this?
No, it was red originally.
Okay.
But we pulled it all apart and had it all painted up and fixed up.
So yeah,
But,
well, like I said, I have to ask because
yes, sir. Absolutely.
It pretty much stands out a little bit.
A little bit.
What, you guys got a car here?
No, sir.
Or
Not
just-
today. We're with them.
Okay, so you just coming to
Hanging out.
support?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. My name's Sean.
Yeah, man. Good to meet you, brother.
You too. All right. So now we are excited. We've seen a couple videos. We've seen how to do the paint the underneath if we want to. We've seen a couple different interiors. And so now you can we have the kit, go get your colors. Are we gonna do the yellow? Are we gonna do the black? Are we gonna do the blue? You choose, it's your truck. So it's your truck. This is your model. Build it however you want. I just wanted to get you a little bit excited for it, and now it's time to get started. All right, so for the Bronco, first thing, we got 4 off-road tires, hollow, really cool, awesome. second thing that comes with the tire, we have these metal, and I put them on tape just now, metal pins for your tires instead of axles. So these are going to get built in. I put mine on blue tape, these little pieces, because they'll get lost really quick, so I'll put them back in the plastic bag, but I put them on blue tape so they do not get lost, and then I will actually seal the bag back up. But this way, they are where I need them to be, when I need them to be. So be careful, because if you lose those, it's a real pain to find something that will work instead. So, and these will go back in the box. We've got our glass. We got windshield, back there. Everything with this truck is actually like a square glass. So you have the glass for the roof, the windshield, and side glass. We've got a nice chrome tree here with the chrome hubcaps, the front grille, obviously windshield wipers, all the mirrors, bumpers, the parts for the engine. So it's got a small chrome tree, but it's everything you need in chrome. Put that over there. We've got the wheels. Let's see. So this is the standard, just you'll see where the hubcaps go on. So this is just a standard rim, metal rim, and we've got the air cleaner and engine intake manifold. These are the wheels. This is where those pins are going to go inside. So I'm going to build the wheels first, just so I don't lose the pins. And then of course you have your hoses. This is all going to be painted black, so that's really nice. This will probably be body color, and I haven't decided on the color yet. We've got the front and rear axles. We've got the seats, the front seats, the bench seat for the back, and is those the mirrors? I don't know what these are. Oh, these are the armrests probably. And then the roll cage, or roll bar. Here's the other part of the roll bar. We've got the floor of the truck right here, nice detail underneath. Here is your tailgate. This is your bench seat for the back. Here's the another bench seat. This is where you put the bench seat. This is the frame, I guess, frame for the bench seat. Steering column right there. The rest of the roll cage, like I said, and the dashboard, which is pretty detailed. I don't know if you can see how detailed that is, but pretty detailed. So we'll be able to play with that. We've got the frame, the leaf springs right here. This looks like a suspension part or steering, something to do with the steering. And then the exhaust system right here. Not sure what that is. What is that? Oh, that's okay. That's the bottom. This is part of the frame. Interior parts and the hood. So the hood actually, these grills, yeah, the grills are actually, as you can see, they go right through. So this is a really nice fine grill. It goes right through. And then we have seat backs here, your pedals, windshield, and interior parts. And then we have the spare tire holder in the back, transmission, your drive shaft and shocks and such. And here's your engine parts right here. And did I see oh yeah, there's the engine block. Okay. And it's got a separate pan, so that's nice. And finally, we've got the cab with the removable roof that is only, you know, will stay here once we put the windshield on. And that actually already has the visors in it. And then we've got, it even has the top of the, looks like this is right where the dashboard goes, and it looks like it already has the air conditioning vents or something on here. I don't know. But it's a nice little detailed unit. So already has the supports in the front. And then finally, a really nice set of decals that came with this. So it's a Colorado truck, and you can have the Ford in the black and the white, And the nice thing is here's something for the hood. You've got a lot of these, like, I guess these are windows tints for the windows. I'm not really sure. Or maybe they're mats for inside. I don't know. I like that these are in white because it allows us to make the truck whatever color we want. And I'm assuming they're going to want you to match this white trim to making a white roof, but you don't have to. This is your vehicle. This is what you do. You choose how you want to paint it. If you want to use these, great. You can do solid colors, but I'll probably use these. And I actually have a good idea for the color of this, and I don't think it's going to be Ford blue like on the box. I have a different idea for this one. Anyway, that's our parts. We're going to get started. When we come back, we'll have some of the sub-assemblies done. And so we'll see you in just a smidge. Alright, so we're going to just go over the colors real quick. Shocks are going to be Krylon yellow. The frame is going to be black. I'm going to matte clear the hubcaps to make them a little bit better. They'll look a lot more realistic. Ford blue. Well, this is sail blue, but it's pretty close to Ford blue for the engine block. I'm going to chrome these pieces using the Rust-Oleum chrome. I'm going to go with the Krylon Gloss Jungle Green for the exterior color. I'm going to go with Blossom White for the spare tire cover and the roof. And I'm going with a Shell White for the interior parts. So we've got our decisions on what color we're going to make it. We will use the Rust-Oleum flat black primer on the dark parts, and we will use the gray primer on everything else. All right, so we've got the frame built. I've got the engine built with the front transfer case on it, and everything else we're going to have to paint because I want to really do a nice detail of colors. So that's pretty much all we have right now. And then we will start painting, and then we'll come back and we'll put everything together. right now we have all the parts drying that we've painted. As you can see, they're just going to sit here for about, I don't know, a couple hours till this afternoon, and then maybe this evening. See, I still have to paint the fan. I still have to paint the front here. I did notice that the grille is actually completely see-through. When I was going to go use the panel line accent color, but when I noticed it was see-through, then I thought, well, I don't know, should I paint that body color or black? So I have to go and try to figure that out, and then I'll paint that, but that don't go on till the end anyway. So and then I have to trim the flashing off of this seat and probably repaint that seat after I sand and get the flashing off. But everything else I think looks good, and I'm looking forward to putting this together. Took the door panels, and I'm going to do the inserts the same color as the interior. So I taped off the door panels, and now I'm going to go ahead and spray them. So we're still working on the chassis. So we've got the rear in, chromed the back, chromed the front here, and we painted these green because this is a guy who takes care of his truck. He likes the yellow shocks. You can see we put a little black around where the springs are, and then we put the drive shaft in. We put the front drive shaft. There's your transfer case. Of course, the engine is Ford blue, and we've got all the front springs and everything in. And so the engine is in, and so I'm still working on this, but it's coming out pretty good so far, I think. Steering incorrectly, that obviously was wrong. I was doing it last time. So steering column, and then all the steering mechanics underneath. You can see all of them there are finally in. So we've got that, the engine. Yeah, I think this is looking really good, actually. I'm really happy with it so far. Hope you guys, I like doing it. I figure, you know, we're car guys, and you know, when we have cars, how many of you crawled under and painted axles or painted this silver or chrome or did something underneath your car that nobody would ever see except for you, and you just did it? So that's the way I'm thinking as I build this. This is what I would do. Wheel. So the first thing is you take the metal pin, you push it through the wheel back. Then I'm going to use the hubcaps, even though I do like the wheels. I mean, these wheels are cool, but I do like the hubcaps. All right, so I put glue in here because I'm going to put the pin in there, and it says don't glue it if you want the wheels to turn. I don't care if the wheels turn. So this is the wheel made before it goes in the tire. One of them, and it's seated. So it's seated in the back, it's seated in the front. It's not going to go anywhere. You just have 4 more to do. You like these rims, like this, the metal rims, but I think this guy would have hubcaps like these, the original hubs on it. So that's what I'm going with, the original hubs. I still have a spare tire here that's got a rim of it in it, so I can detail that one. All right, so this is the floor, and I'm going to put the roll cage in. So to put the roll cage in, you actually have to hit from underneath. And see right here? So you have to use your knife or a drill bit. I'm just using my knife. Easy way, all you do is stick the knife in and just spin it in a circle. You can get these knives, by the way, at the dollar store. These little X-Acto knives. You get like 2 for $1 at Dollar General. And there you go. So it comes out. And you can just clean it up a little bit there. So, and we'll just do the other 2. And so far we've got the seats completed. We've got these seats on with, I put the color, the same color green back on them, because the backs of these are like a hard metal, if I remember right. I don't know if they're metal. I think they're metal, but I know they're a hard plastic or metal. And so we've got the chassis done. The wheels are just sitting on there right now. They're not glued on yet. I have most of the exhaust system on, so you can see the exhaust system is on there. We'll touch up the paint on here, and then we have the rest of the interior. If you can see, we got the inserts, we've spray painted the same color as the rest of the interior, which is like an ivory white. And we've got all the chrome to do yet, and we're going to detail the interior. I'm going to leave this body color. I was watching a video about one, and I'm actually going to go see one shortly. You'll see that you've already seen the video on it, but I'm going over to Sam Galloway Ford, which has an original one in their showroom that I don't think was ever sold. And it's in their showroom, so I'm going to make sure, but I believe that they came in either body color or black, either way. But I'm going to leave this body color, because the guy who has this one, this isn't actually a Ford color, so if he did a body off restoration with it, then of course he's going to paint it his way, which means I'm going to paint it my way. So we're going to leave that body color. And spare tire rack, that's got to be done. We got the brakes left to go. We've got a lot of chrome pieces to put on, and we're going to do the dashboard, and of course panel line color on the grille. And I got to paint the Ford letters, which I don't know if I'll paint. I'll probably just use a red Sharpie to do the Ford letters on the grille. So we'll finish this today. And so when we come back, we'll have the interior together, we'll have the chassis done, we'll have the interior in here, we'll have the engine compartment complete, and that dashboard will be painted, everything will be ready to put together. So we'll be right back. Well, we'll be right back on the video. In reality, it's probably going to take me about 45 minutes. So I find that this cream acrylic paint looks really, really like a translucent coolant bottle or things that you see under the hood. It just, for whatever reason, it looks kind of like a clear plastic bottle. And then I always put a red cap on it. And we did paint the letters using the Ford letters, using the craft paint. The flag red craft paint. So put the cap on there, and I'm just painting the little battery. It's got the tie down on it. So let's just paint. There we go. All right, so we've got the decals for the dashboard. I see some guys on the internet and they like working out of these super clean spaces. I guess that's just never been my style. But that's okay. Everybody works differently. All right. So we're going to put the radio, speedometer, and the steering wheel each have a decal. Let's move the truck over, move this over. The other thing I didn't realize is that it has these weird looking decals, and I didn't know what they were for until I looked at the instructions, because, you know, at the end of the day, you just look at the instructions. And these are for the door panels, so we're going to do those as well. They also have them for the seats. All right. So we put a little bit of decal set in here, and then we just push the decal over. And bring it in here. Come on. There we go. Get a little bit of water to have that help it move. All right. Next, we're gonna put some water on here, and this is a really small one for the radio, as you can tell. Has a tiny, tiny radio. Okay. Where's my knife? Oh, come on. There we go. Almost. Almost. All right. And then for there we go. All right. And then we just put a little dab on top. Just a little dab of decal set. There we go. All right, and now we have the decals. I'm gonna move these out of the way, let them dry. And now we have the decals for the door panels, which is these. So we'll again put some decal set down. And a little bit of decal set on that one. And this one should slide right on. Let's see. There we go. All right, so on the cab, I used my Sharpie just to go around, put the seal on, the black seal. So all you have to do is just draw it on just like this. And I went and already did that. And then I am using, a lot of times I'll use Elmer's glue, but when you're getting into some of this glass stuff, I am going to go with the Hodgepodge. So Hodgepodge, which is really like a thick, if you've never used it before, it's really thick. it's just, see how thick it is, like it hardly even pours. So it's just this gooey, let me stick a, it's just like a gooey stuff, and all you have to do is you just put it on where you're going to do it, and you can glob it on like we did the windows on this, and it acts like a glue, and it's also dries really clear. I mean, you have to look close to see any kind of it, but it does take about 12 hours to dry well. So we're gonna put the glass in. I'm gonna put this glass in, and you'll see how we do it with the hodgepodge, or Mod Podge. I call it hodgepodge. I don't know why. They just do. All right, so let me make sure. The best thing with glass, and you guys know I kind of suck at putting glass in, is making sure, the thing with glass is, and you guys know it, is once you cut it, make sure that you sand where it was attached, because if not, there's going to be these little burrs, and when you're talking like this kit specifically, if you don't have these burrs gone, it will not fit inside, because it's actually, this one actually fits in right in there. Oh, I'm sorry. Whoop. There. It's going to be this one. All right, so this is going to fit right like that. So we put that in, and then I take my hodgepodge, and then I'm just going to go ahead and put, actually I'm going to do this. And you also can clean up all this extra with water. So you can just get like a wet paper towel or a wet Q-tip. And like I said, don't worry about the, there we go. That's in. And this actually does have more of a glue base. So it's kind of like glue and it's like glue and well, I guess it's just glue. So it's kind of like glue that dries completely clear. So now I'm going to go and get a wet paper towel, and I'll just wipe this off, and then it will just stick. And then when you're done, you come back and you can go inside here, and it builds up a little bit of a ridge. So there we go. That's how it is, and then it'll dry, and it'll dry perfectly clear. And if you look right now, so you can see, all we have left to do on here is windshield, like a lot of stuff that I won't put on until I'm done with the decals. So you have a lot of the door handles, windshield wipers, stuff like that. But the cab came out really cool, and we got the glass in, got the front glass, side glass. The decals on the seats came out really neat. Dashboard came out. I mean, I like this truck. This fitting problem here I'm not even going to worry about, because that's going to be it's where the roof goes on. So this will sit like that. Oh, actually it does click in there. By the way, that white's the hodgepodge, which is still wet. But yeah, so that this truck body I really like. Everything fits good. Now this back here, this hinge, which swings out and it holds the tire, it's supposed to swing, it's supposed to move, and I'm going to leave it moving, and I'm also not going to put the roof on permanently. It's held on there pretty well by the roll bar anyway, so it's not going to fall off if I have it on my shelf, but if I want to pull it off, I can pull it off and see the interior. So I'm really happy with this model so far. So that's the body, and then here is the completed, all except for this, which is not on yet because I haven't put the body on yet. But here's the chassis and the rims, and I am just super pleased with the way this turned out. So all four are on the ground. They don't spin. I didn't want them to spin, so I glued. But this has basically, the body of this is the first video of the stock one has the stock body, and then this actually has the dual shock towers at each wheel. So that's just pretty cool. It's like, so I'm real happy how it's coming out. When we get back, the body will be on the model, I think, and then we'll put the body decals on. I like the way that stands, actually. I like the stance. Let me see. Stance is pretty similar. There we go. So you can see there's a little gap up the front here. These are where they should be. So everything is sitting exactly how it should be. So I'm pretty happy with that. So the stance is good. So we will just leave that to dry, and yeah, leave it to dry, and then we'll put the radiator support in, and the front grille and everything, and we'll finish this up. Next time you see it, it will be complete. Basically done. We're waiting for the glass to dry. We've got the front grille in. We're waiting for the clear to go dry. We'll go ahead and we're going to touch up with the paint, the turn lights, the amber turn signals up front. We put in the radiator support with the shroud. We've put in the brake system. We've now put in the air cleaner. And all we have left now is bumpers, wipers, all that kind of stuff. We're going to put the decals on. All right, so we're basically complete. All we have to do is put on the mirrors, door hinges, the spare tire, but we're not going to do any of that till we put the decals on. So it's basically built at this time. And let's put we can put the hood on. And we can put cap on. Should put this in the middle. So we've painted the amber lights. We've painted the side lights. We took our Sharpie and just went along the body line there. That's supposed to be a chrome piece. We also did the hinges. We've put on the caps for, this has two different gas tanks. License plate, rear turn signals, and so right now all we are waiting on is to put on the decals. So that's where we're at. quick tip for you. As you can see, here's all the used sprues. I don't throw any sprue out until I am done a model, because even if I think it's empty for some reason, you would be surprised how many times I have to go look back and I go, oh, there's this real tiny little part that I just overlooked. So until you're done, just leave a scrap pile and then you can throw it out. All right, last step. We have pledge. We're going to do the pledge. So cover your model up and we just pour it on. Oh, it's okay. You put on everything, even the parts that come off. Shine everybody up. Put it here. Just make sure you brush it onto everything. Everybody gets the pledge. This is also called future. So if you hear people if you watch other channels and they're like, hey, you cover your models with future wax or future coating or whatever you want to call it, this is what they're talking about. So, and with this one we'll do the inside, because I am not going to glue the roof on. I am just going to I'm just going to let the roof lay on there, because this roof actually comes off and it sits on there nice, and since it'll just sit on the shelf unless I want to take it off and somebody wants to look at the interior, which they will be able to. So now it could cloud up the glass for a couple minutes. Sometimes it will do that, but don't worry about it. It will dry fairly quickly and easily. And let's put this back on here. This hinge part, the spare moves. There we go. All right, next time you see it, we will do the final reveal and it will be done. All right, guys, here is the completed 1971, you have a choice of 71, 2, or 3. 71 Bronco kit by Revell. So I did mine in the nice green, the lime green, and it is complete. There was one or two issues, my faults. There's a little issue there with the paint that I hit with my nail. There's a little I like the way this sits. I think this is supposed to be how it sits, because that's how the box shows it sitting, with the front just a little bit up like that, and that's how some of the real ones that I saw sat. So we've got everything is done and complete. We have the spare tire hinge that moves. We've got the roof comes off, and I put the mirror that way for that angle because I thought if you're a driver, so if you notice I angled the mirrors for drivers, although they may be a little too severe, but I think they're okay. And then we're gonna go ahead and take off the hood. So we've gone ahead and taken off the hood. We took off the roof. I'm not going to glue either of those down, although they'll sit on my shelf and they'll be fine. I do notice that when I move this around, that the hinge for the tailgate spare is so loose. As you can see, it's so loose that it will just move on its own. But I really like this model, and as somebody who's owned one, I really like the fabric that they did on the seats. I really like the fabric that they gave. And then let's turn it to the side, and you can see underneath. So like I said, I did everything kind of my way. I figured I built this as if it was somebody who probably took this to car shows. Maybe it had a body off restoration like 6 or 7 years ago, but they still drive it. So, because this is kind of close to what you and I would be doing if we had one, I'm sure. I like the color green. I had an idea for it, and I wasn't sure because I've never really seen a green one like this. But I looked at it and I thought, well, let's give it a shot. Let's see what it looks like. And at the end of the day, it looks really, really nice. In fact, I think if I ever got one that I had to repaint, I may actually do it this color because I like the color combination. Of course, I'd put a bigger lift kit on it with some bigger tires. I don't think I would go back to being stock. There we go. All right. So there we go. It's a nice looking model. It'll look good on my shelf. Like I said before, I don't make them for shows. I don't make them to be concourse perfect. I basically build them from the box, and you know, if there's a little issue here or there, I tell you. I don't think there was any issues with this one other than it's a real with all the clear glass. I definitely had to use my Mod Podge instead of the Elmer's glue that I use sometimes. And also the fit of the hood with the front glass is a little weird. Same with the windshield wipers is a little weird. But everything else fit together really good. The engine compartment fit together really good. It's one of the few times I've had a body slip right on, even though I had the fan on the engine, and it worked fine. So anyway, as normal, you will see still pictures of this in after we do the final turn here. And also, I appreciate you guys watching. This is the model kit. Let's bring that one up. So this is the model. This is the kit. And I think we came really, it looks really nice compared to the to the kit itself. I would highly recommend this kit if you're into trucks. It's not that hard to build if you take your time. It's got some really nice decals, not really nice details as well, and I liked it. So, you know, I didn't put the front license plate on just because I don't like front license plates on real cars, let alone on a model car. But other than that, pick your color. You know, I was thinking of yellow, I was thinking of red, I was thinking of blue, thinking of black, but I wanted to do the green. So you can build this any way you want. It's your kit. It is your kit. It is your car, just like real life. If you want to paint it, you paint whatever color you want. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the slideshow. And if you like this kind of things, please subscribe. If you like real cars and trucks, please subscribe, because we mostly do real cars and trucks. It's just Model Mondays. We do one model a week. And this was this week's choice because I used to own one, and this is awesome. We're going to start with a picture of mine, my real one, stuck in the mud, and then we'll go to the models. So have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching. April, should they subscribe to this channel even if they don't like cars today for this one?
Probably just for this one.